Hello, I hope you are doing great. Today, we are going to see a small way in which you can improve your Twitter audience or your Twitter experience. Basically, one of the things a lot of people do is retweet other person's content, right? And that will also give them more followers or more visibility, right? So if you are following some interesting people with some of the topics that you are interested in, you will usually or you should usually retweet their content, right? And many times even tag them, right? Or mention them in your tweets or thank them for tweeting that. And that will help you a lot to get more visibility in Twitter. Now, a lot of marketers do this using automated tools. Today, we are going to see one quick, small way in which you can do some of it using Azure. So, one of the first things you need to do is create a service bus in Azure. You name it however you want to name it, and then you go to queues, create a new queue, right? And you set the name you want to set, right? The queue is basically so you enqueue the tweets or the messages that you are going to post in the Twitter account, right? And then start posting them every once and then, right? Now, here I have a small logic app, and this logic app basically what it will do is retweet content for Blazor or .NET, right? So if we go to edit, you will see that basically it runs every 1 hour and it will look for content with Blazor or .NET hashtags. It will exclude retweets. It will only look for content in English and it will exclude the content from this user. This user is the one which is actually running this action. So basically you don't want to retweet your own content, right? Then we create a new custom message and the format will be should retweet equals 1. Yeah, because this is a new tweet from someone else, so it makes sense to retweet it. We set the tweet ID because that's what we need to be able to retweet. Tweet image file path, in this case we don't need it, so we can set it empty and we pass the tweet message, which is going to be the tweet text from the previous action. Now, in the case of retweet, we do not need the message. However, it actually makes sense to have it to facilitate debugging uh, when the tasks are running. Now, then the other thing that you need to do is actually send that message to the service bus queue, and this will effectively enqueue your message so that other application takes the messages from the queue and perform the respective action according to that message. So basically we send it to the message, we send the message to the queue, we send we send the content, which is this one that we composed, and we set the content type to be application slash JSON. Then we will have another logic app, which is the one that posts the content. This will be a task or a logic app that will run every 30 minutes, every 1 hour. You need to be very careful with this because of Twitter restrictions, right? Of daily, how many API requests you can do every 15 minutes, if I believe, if I am correct, and the maximum amount of tweets that you can do daily, which I believe is 200, 200 automated tweets, I believe. Yeah, you need to be a little bit careful with automation, right? Um, uh, so you don't um, fail following Twitter restrictions. Okay, so now we get the messages from the queue. So in this case, we only get 2 messages. You can set it to 1, 2, right? The less the better, so you don't reach the Twitter restriction limits, right? Then we initialize a variable, which is going to be message. In this case, is empty. We iterate through all of the messages in the queue, or at least through all of the messages that we retrieve from the queue. We set the variable. In this case, the variable is going to be equal to this content. We parse the JSON. This JSON is the one we sent before, which will have the should retweet, the tweet ID, the tweet image file path, and the tweet message. Now we do a condition and we ask if it should retweet. Basically, we go to retweet and we only use the tweet ID. Then if it is not a retweet, we go to the false and then we evaluate if the tweet image file path is empty. If it is empty, then we just post a tweet with just the text. However, if the image is not empty, we get the image content from Azure File Storage, which is where we have the images stored, right? Then we have here tweet image file path, right? We pass it, and then in the post a tweet, when we post the tweet, we add the parameter for media and we set the file content. Then when this succeeds, basically we complete the message in the queue, right? Or if some of it fails, we basically mark this as dead letter the message in a queue, and then we can have any other application look into it, right? This is just like a safe mechanism. So for example, you see in here there is a lot of content failing. So let's see why it is failing. So parse JSON, it says that invalid type expected a string but got integer, and this is because new Blazor community video. Okay, this is because I have another logic app that I haven't fixed, right? Let's see one that actually passed. Okay, succeed. So you can see this one, we had the get messages from the queue, set variable, parse JSON, should retweet equals 0, right? The text is going to be in Spanish for introduction to Blazor with .NET 6. And then you see that it goes to the condition, it goes to the else, it gets the image, it publishes the tweet, and then it closes the message, and um, that is published in Twitter. So this is a small, quick way in which you can improve your Twitter using Azure, specifically Azure Logic Apps and Azure Service Bus. Please remember, visit fairplaytube.bdicostarica.com, click the Buy Me a Coffee icon, select a donation of your preference, and this will help us keep the videos and products free for you. Also, you can create your account using the sign in here, and you will start receiving uh, notifications about when new content is being uploaded. Thank you very much and have a great day.